Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we're here to talk about two brand new eyes to mesmerize from Charlotte Tilbury. Did you know? We got two more, and don't get confused. Let's unpack it all here. They are $32 each, and they are a Pillow Talk eyes to mesmerize and a Walk of No Shame, formerly Walk of Shame, eyes to mesmerize. No, you haven't seen them before. Yeah, they're new. No, the names are not new. So as we know, so many brands these days do almost brands within brands. And Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk is kind of its own franchise. It's always a pinky brown color, but there's a black mascara and there's basically a brownish ruddy red eyeliner that looks nothing like the pinks in the original Pillow Talk Quad or the Pillow Talk lipstick. I'm wearing that today. There's a wide range of Pillow Talk, and it basically means anything pink, brown, reddish, ruddy, and rusty. And then there's the whole Walk of Shame that morphed into Walk of No Shame. That became a kind of even reddier, rustier version of Pillow Talk and has its own eye quad, its own lipstick, its own lip liner and eyeliner, and some people even call it the hay fever color. It can look a little bit like that. We're going to do a few different eye looks. Don't get confused by what I'm wearing right now, as this is a combination of the eyes to mesmerize and one of the quads over the top, which I'll explain later in the demos. Didn't want to confuse you, but we're going to also try everything on just on its own and do a lot of comparisons. So let's get started. When this first came out, I know Gina and Sarah and a few of you were talking to me about it in DMs on Instagram. Is this new? Have we seen this before? There were jewel pots, but remember the jewel pots were a little bit different, and we're gonna see this in my comparisons. They were sparkly. And the eyes to mesmerize is that really moussey, fluffy formula that is not entirely crease proof. It makes a great base for powder eyeshadow, but it's moussey, so it doesn't really set. Remember, Charlotte Tilbury had those color Chameleon Eye Pencils, if you remember those, if you're old like me and you remember those, that you would draw onto your eyes and you had some playtime and then they set like cement. The eyes to mesmerize isn't really like that. I'll show you in a moment. We can kind of smear it 10 minutes on. And sometimes, especially if like me, you have hooded eyes, you might have to go in there and kind of fix up. It is why I like doing what I did here, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, which is kind of setting it with some powder shadow over the top. I'm also not really bothered by touching up little spots where they crease, but these little guys can crease. I have two videos, which I'll also link below. I did a video in my, I have a series where I just kind of look back at older, more valued, iconic members of our makeup collection, and I did something on every single eyes to mesmerize. So if you're interested in seeing all of them, not just our comparisons today, I'll link that below, and you can see everything that was released before these guys, including the ones that are no longer out there and available. So do check that out if you have some interest. But for our purposes here today, we're just going to look at these guys and we're going to try them out too. All right, the first thing I want you to look at right away is a swatch just of our two new shades. We have Pillow Talk on the left and Walk of No Shame on the right. Take a look at them there. These were set for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to go in and just do a little smear on them just so you can kind of see what that looks like when I kind of smear them a little bit. And that will show you that they do move. That was 10 minutes of set time there, and they definitely do move. Pillow Talk on the left, Walk of No Shame on the right, just so you can kind of see what those look like on their own. Okay, I bet you are wondering what these look like compared to a whole bunch of other things. I even got a Victoria Beckham lid luster in there. Why not? And we're going to look at them next to their shadows too. So let's take a look here. We left Pillow Talk on the left and Walk of No Shame on the right. And then over to the right of it, there's a little space, and then I have Rose Gold eyes to mesmerize. These are all Charlotte Tilbury. Copper Sun eyes to mesmerize. Third over on that second set is Sunset Rose eyes to mesmerize. Walk of No Shame Jewel Pot. And I stuck on the very end there the Victoria Beckham Tea Rose on the end, just in case you are wondering. So once again, that is Pillow Talk Eyes to Mesmerize on the left, Walk of No Shame on the right. Then a little gap, and we have a Rose Gold, Copper Sun, Sun Rose, Walk of No Shame Jewel Pot, and just for fun, the Victoria Beckham Tea Rose all the way on the right. Where is the Pillow Talk Jewel Pot, you ask? You noticed it wasn't there. It was sold much later in the United States, if at all. I guess later. I just never bothered. I was like, I'm not going to wear the Walk of No Shame Jewel Pot that much. They're all the same. And that's the ennui word of the day that is setting in with Charlotte Tilbury a little bit these days. That those of us that collect Charlotte Tilbury, we're having little conversations on DMs on Insta going, do we want this? Are we excited? Are we not excited? Why are they calling it Pillow Talk again? You know, and when I'm feeling that too, and I get excited about every release, I just think it's part of my job. I think it's important to be excited. But even I am feeling that sense of just like, oh, can they give it another name? You know, I mean, because we feel, do I have this? Did I forget I have this? That's kind of why I didn't buy the Jewel Pot Pillow Talk. Had it come out at the same time, I actually would have, Charlotte's. But when it came out later, I was like, and that's what's setting in a little bit since Charlotte Tilbury sold. Look, the Eyes to Mesmerize are really pretty products. They are. And actually, I want to go real quick back to our swatches. Look what I've added above. Above each of the new Eyes to Mesmerize, I've added in their shadows. So on the left, I'm going to try to get a close-up real good for you there. On the left of Pillow Talk Eyes to Mesmerize, I put the darker shades of the Pillow Talk Quad, the original Quad. And on the right over Walk of No Shame, I put the darker shades of the Walk of No Shame Eye Quad, just so you could see how those would coordinate. And how that would look. And as a little hint, which you'll see in the demo coming right up, this is the Walk of No Shame powder shadow over the Walk of No Shame Eyes to Mesmerize. I just think that sets it a little bit better. So we're going to look at all of those things coming up. But I mean, you could put these with the blushes. We've got Pillow Talk. We've got Pillow Talk Intense. We've got Walk of No Shame. I mean, the one thing I will say about her, do you guys remember Garanimals? Can anyone age themselves and remember that? They were these clothes when we were kids. It was like probably in the 80s, I don't know, where you match like the zebra shirt with the zebra bottoms, and they were made for kids to like put their own outfits together easily. Charlotte Tilbury sometimes is the Garanimals of makeup, and hey, I appreciate it. Trust me, you could stick the eye look. If it says Walk of No Shame, you could just throw it all on and you know you're going to coordinate. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with taking the guesswork out for busy people putting on makeup. No shade there. I actually appreciate it. I mean, I really do. I'm sure you do too. And of course, you can get creative and mix and match. There's no set rules. But you know, I actually think that's kind of cool. And this is really, really pretty. Walk of No Shame can be a little bit red. You got to pay attention to that, or you're going to look like you're having hay fever. Pillow Talk might be a safer bet, but right now I'm going to come back with nothing on my eyes at all, and we're going to look at each shade on its own and then try playing with a little bit of powder over the top, so stay right there. Okay, so we're going to apply both here to both eyes. Rather than doing one eye and one eye, let's just take the time to do both eyes in each. What I will do though, just to save eye irritation, is I will do the first. Let's do Pillow Talk first on both eyes, minus eyeliner and mascara. And then for the Walk of No Shame, I'll add that on. So I'm not adding it on to both. You can use your fingers quite happily, or you can use a brush. I happen to have these new Sonia G Fusion brushes, which are great with creams and liquids. They're not necessarily eye brushes, but we don't need no stinking rules, so we'll go ahead and use them. So I'm going to take my little pot here, and I'm just going to start with my finger, and I'm just going to add it to my eye like this, just gently, because I do know that the skin of our eye is very, very soft. And I'm just going to spread it just a little bit with the Sonia G Fusion brush, and this is the soft concealer brush, actually, that I'm using. There you go. Just a little bit there. Now you can go ahead and add this underneath the eye. I am just smoothing it, and again, I'm just even running that under the eye. Rebecca, that is not a brush for under the eye. It's fine. Honestly, it's so funny. Some of us get so crazy about following rules the same way we get crazy about not following them. It's absolutely fine. And I started with this shade because you just cannot make a mistake. So I'm just kind of blending up. I'm just running it a bit under with the brush I have on hand. For our next shade, I'll grab a slightly more tapered brush. But I think this works. And I just wanted you to kind of see, I'm moving my mirror here, what this will look like when it's just, you kind of have to imagine eyeliner and mascara, of course, which I will do with the other. And remember also that you can go ahead and take the Pillow Talk Quad and you can enhance this and use this kind of as a base, and that is very pretty. In other words, do the look that you would normally do with either her Pillow Talk Quad or Charlotte's Pillow Talk 12 pan instant eye look, and you can take anything you want and use this as a base or any other eyeshadows that you have. Okay, let me take this off and then let's put on Walk of No Shame, and I'll do up Walk of No Shame. Okay, so for Walk of No Shame, I did, as promised, bring a little bit of a more tapered brush from the Kiyaki set, also Sonia G, so that we can do a little bit under and just do up Walk of No Shame a little bit more. Okay, so I'll take it here, start just the way we did. This is a much more powerful shade, as you see. Look at that, just kind of painted on there. And wants to crease already. Thus is the nature of the beast. We talked a little bit about creasing at the beginning. I don't have too much trouble with it. If you go ahead and use a powder shadow over, just putting this on the eye, if you use a powder shadow over it, it sets it a little bit better. I also, and this doesn't really bother me during the day, I will just kind of do this and just kind of smooth it a bit. And it doesn't really bother me. But I also have hooded eyes. Notice I'm just kind of blending this in to get rid of any lines. I also have hooded eyes, so I'm also kind of used to going, oh, I better fix my eyeshadow. This is not really a new phenomenon to me. So maybe that's why I have a little bit more patience with it. And I find some people, now I'm putting the Kiyaki brush in here just to get a little bit underneath. I find some people have less patience than I for the creasing, especially of these products. Okay, so now I am going to look like the Walk of No Shame is a tough one. As you see, it might look like I am suffering from really bad hay fever. That is the issue with the Walk of No Shame. Let me put some mascara and some eyeliner on, and then we'll see how we feel about it. And if it just looks like I'm having an allergic reaction, stay right there and let's see. Okay, I'm back, and I wanted to do a little bit of a best of both worlds. So here, first of all, let me do a close-up, is the finished product with just Walk of No Shame. We saw Pillow Talk, but here's Walk of No Shame with a little bit of Pillow Talk liner. I didn't use Walk of No Shame liner. I could have, but things were going to get a little too hay feverish. And Pillow Talk mascara, which is called Pillow Talk Y. No idea. It's not a brownish, reddish, goldish color. It's black, so I don't know why it's called that. Now, what I want to do, now that we've seen that, because I know you guys wanted to see just that look if you're thinking of buying just this product, and it is a quick kind of one and done look. This creases a little, but it's okay. I want to take the quad, okay, and I just want to add a little bit in, okay? So I'm going to take the second shade. I just want to show you what happens when we do that. I'm taking another Kiyaki brush, and I'm going to adjust my mirror here and just kind of put a little bit more, just gently, into, see the difference? So this is just Walk of No Shame. This is Walk of No Shame, Eyes to Mesmerize, and I'm adding in just a little bit, guys, just a little bit now of the darkest shade here. What is that, Smoke or Enhance or whatever? I don't know what she calls them these days. On the little corner there, see that? Okay. And then let me take my finger into the pop shade and just add that on. I just wanted you to kind of see the difference there. Okay, so now what we have is Walk of No Shame, Eyes to Mesmerize, just on its own with mascara and liner, Pillow Talk liner, albeit, and Walk of No Shame, Eyes to Mesmerize with the Walk of No Shame palette to just kind of deepen it. And as you can see, they really do work nicely together, don't they? Not bad, and of course you could do that with Pillow Talk as well. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Are you Pillow Talked and Walk of Shame, Walk of No Shamed out? Or did you, or any Eyes to Mesmerize fans, maybe you just wanted, if it's Eyes to Mesmerize, it is a cult kind of classic from Charlotte. Do tell me what you're thinking, because I'm very interested as always. Please leave a comment below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope you did. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.